Back under the big H, let's take a look at the Hawaii block. You talked about the Waves coming in as the #1 hitting team, the #1 blocking team. Well, role reversal here tonight.
Yeah, Hawaii with 5 blocks in the first set. They only averaged about 2.5, so they doubled their output in the first set. It resulted, I think, in a big part of this first set victory. Davis Holt was in on 4 of those blocks. Sarkovic got a couple. Sador a couple.
Now talking to Charlie Ray before this match, talking about the confidence that this team has, having beaten UCLA, having beaten Pepperdine last night, and having played in other matches, albeit losing, but knowing that they were in battles that they could have won. Pretty much they have this chip on their shoulder now. They know, and more than just thinking it, they have proven it, Chris, and they have gained that confidence that they know they can not only compete with, but beat anybody in this country.
I agree. They beat a very good UCLA team a couple weeks ago, and last Friday night, very good Pepperdine team. But serving has really been what's gotten them those 2 victories. Timmer, of course, he has magical 4 serves at the end of the match against UCLA. He's continuing to put pressure on it. Ramos continues to locate his serve very well. Doesn't bring a lot of heat, but brings great location. And Sarkovic, also an excellent server, as is J.P. Marks. And Marv Duffy told me Thursday at practice, he said, what concerns me about Hawaii? Their arms. They got a bunch of live arms over there, both from attacking standpoint and from the serving standpoint.
Davis Holt, and he is roofed by Kalmbach. And so just as we feature the Hawaii block, the Waves come out and flex a little blocking muscle of their own. They take the first point of the second set. Back to serve it up will be Antonijevic. Back set, not a good opportunity for Brooks Sador. Just to lollipop it over. This time, J.P. Marks hit once, chased down by Josh Taylor, and Garrett knocks it over. Chance for Hawaii. And the back set flying out of the back row, Siki Sarkovic.
This is that back row attack that Hawaii uses. Very similar to the back row quick when they set it off the left shoulder of the setter as opposed to setting it in front of the setter. It goes behind him just slightly. And Sarkovic loves that set. He seems to connect on it pretty much every time.
Even at 1-1 here in set number 2. Joby Ramos back to serve it up for Hawaii, the Honolulu native. Went over to the University of Pacific for a couple of years, back here in Manoa. Thrilled to be starting now. Guerin hits it. Oh, great play in the back row by Siki, and then Marks blocked. And I think it was a double hit by Marks. Yep, 2 hits. Kind of ricocheted off his chest. Kind of looked good for a moment, but...
There's a save by Siki. Lays out on his back. Marks hitting directly into the block, then it contacts it twice on the way down.
And the towel brigade out there, wiping up the Terraflex. Charlie Wade, boy, I tell you what, he was happy on Friday night, pumping his fist when they got that victory. And the reality in this conference, the way things are, despite their difficult start, they can find themselves right back where they need to be with just a couple of straight wins.
When you beat 2 heavily favored teams like UCLA and Pepperdine, number 2 and number 5 in the country at the time. Whoa!
Torres, that's a home run.
Now, you would say touch them all, wouldn't you?
Touch them all, absolutely. That almost went into the front row. Yeah, Lofi goes a little more to the right. There he is. He's giving him some grief.
I guarantee you the next time Torres is on the other side of the court and he goes back to serve, Lofi's going to remind him of that home run.
Yeah, no question about it. Quick set up the middle, and Kalmbach once again taking care of business. He's pretty reliable with that quick set.
I've really been impressed with Kalmbach, especially since the guy's coming off back surgery. They held him out all of last year. He's coming off being an outside hitter. Now he's a middle blocker. And he's coming off being a great beach player where he finished 9th in the World Championships back in 2010. And here he is playing middle and doing an amazing job.
Torres didn't get a good swing on that. Ramos digs it up. Cross court set. Oh, and a smart play by Sador. He had 3 blockers there, and instead of trying to power through him, he just took the cross-court angle and went right for the open spot.
She puts up a pretty good set. 6 hands go up, and Sador does a little, what they call a little beach cut shot. Crosses by, makes it look like he's going to go down the line, and he cuts it back across his body into the open area.
And that's just some of that growth, some of that maturity by Brooke Sador, having been in the match consistently now for a couple of straight nights. And you start to see things maybe you don't initially see the more time you spend out there in the court. Again, Horace is blocked, and Hawaii's going to end up with a free ball here. Set to Siki. Didn't really get a good set. Kind of had to reach behind his head, but just kind of popped it down into no man's land. Point Warriors.
You're right, Howard. This set is a little low and inside. He just reaches up, sees the hole. Is that peripheral vision? He sees every hole and every block, it seems.
Lucky up one, off the head. Look at that save by J.P. Marks. And it's Sador. He is roofed by Kalmbach. And the Waves get the point to even the match up for the setup at 4-all.
J.P. Marks does a nice job of finally getting the hand on a Kalmbach attack. Seems like nobody can touch a Kalmbach shot. He's been almost perfect for 2 nights, and then Sador gets housed by the Pepperdine block.
Good look at Kalmbach there. Parker out of Costa de Casa, California, 6'7" junior, averaging 20 blocks. Excuse me, 2.0 kills. 2 blocks per set. Josh Taylor off of the hands of Sador, out point for the Waves, and they take the advantage 5-4.
Now that's the Josh Taylor that I think Pepperdine is used to seeing most of the time. He's gotten off to a slow start tonight with a couple of errors, but they're counting on him coming back.
Siki blocked. Tight set to the net. Siki again with a little bit of a roll shot, and Torres can't get to it. And that's the second time that Siki has managed to get a kill off a set that really wasn't right there for him to get a powerful swing on.
Exactly. He's just uncanny with the way he sort of knows where the open spots are. Big testament to how his dad coaching him on the club team over in Serbia. Him playing at a very high level for a very long time. He's only 18 years old, but he's an old volleyball soul.
Yep. Brooke Sador now back to serve it up for Hawaii, even at 5. Good booming serve, passed by Taylor. They go back to Taylor on the set. He is blocked, but out.
Boy, Sador put up one of his best serves of the 2 nights. Taylor just popped it up like it was nothing, then got the set back from Matt West and hammered it home.
Matt West now serving. Marks puts it up, setting up Siki off the hands. Point Hawaii. And Sarkovic now with 7 kills in 10 swings, hitting 600 for the Warriors tonight.
Leading all attackers on the floor. Torres has got 6 for Pepperdine.
And Sarkovic into the net. He likes the noise. He doesn't like it to be silent when he serves. I don't know.
Can you tell he doesn't like missing his serve either?
You can tell that too. He's a little bit frustrated. He still is. And the Punahou along. Josh Taylor now serving for Pepperdine. And Sador.
Sador trying to go over or through or around Pepperdine's smallest blocker there, Kyle Garens. Garens at 6'1". You see how Sador aimed it in his direction, holding the block and the kill.
Averill back to serve it up again. We are even again at 7. Pops it over, and that one's going to be long. The service error by Hawaii. That's going to send Nikola Antonejevic out of Buffalo Grove, Illinois. Kind of a float knuckle serve. Holt didn't get a good piece of that one. Taylor B2 not really getting a lot of power on that ball. Torres just forced to knock it over and an opportunity for Hawaii. Back set, Siki, winner, Hawaii.
Finally, Hawaii converted in transition, went from defense to offense on a free ball, ran a good play, had a good pass up there by Cheap. That's the kind of volleyball Hawaii's got to play more consistently if they want to continue to beat good teams like Pepperdine.
8-all, 8 ties, and a couple of lead changes in the second set. And it'll be Joby Ramos back to serve it for Hawaii. Always seems to get very eerily quiet when he serves. Good swing by Kalmbach.
Hawaii just does not have a solution for Kalmbach. I think that Matt West will continue to go to Kalmbach until he makes a mistake. So far tonight, 4 kills, 5 tries, hitting 800, not bad.
I think they're going to keep going to it. Torres with the serve, and that one is out.
Torres now with his second error of the night.
JP Marks even at 9-all. Hawaii taking the first set by a 25-21 margin. And Taylor flying in out of the back row and hits it into the net. Point Hawaii.
I think you saw a lot of open court. I think you saw that the blockers were a little bit confused there, and he just tried to do too much with it, tried to bury it like inside the 3-meter line.
And JP back to serve it up again for Hawaii, the sophomore out of Schwerin, Germany. Darren, blocked by Holt. Sador trying to keep it alive. Look at the hustle by Ramos, and then Marks gets it over. Good hustle by Hawaii. Garens, though, with a hard hit for the kill.
Good swing by Garens. He had a one-on-one situation because I think the whole gym thought that that set was going to go to Kalmbach in the middle. So pop up by Sador, pop up by Ramos. Free ball for Pepperdine. I thought the ball was going to go to Kalmbach too. But Davis Holt did too, and I gave Kyle Garens a one-on-one situation on the outside.
Been tied up at every point so far. We're even at 10 ties in the second set. Who's going to manage to get that separation first? Garens back to serve it up for the Waves. Siki with the pass. Siki with the swing. And misplayed by the libero. And Ryan Pfluger is usually pretty solid back there, but he also got kind of crossed up with one of his teammates. Got a little bit tied up there in the back row as we take another look at it.
You'd rather see 2 guys going for the ball than none.
Yeah,
but clearly he balked on that.
Yep, Garens was coming in and he caught him out of his peripheral vision. It was just enough to get him to hesitate.
See, I'm trying to use those baseball terms for you, Hard. You notice that? Touch them all, balking.
I like it. But kind of like another baseball term, isn't the libero kind of like the center fielder? If you're in the neighborhood, it's yours.
Exactly,
right?
absolutely. You want the libero taking as many balls as they can. Like that pass right there.
Oh, and a huge swing by Taylor, and what a great dig by JP Marks. And then the roof. Oh, Siki had that one put right back at him, but what a great dig by Marks.
Hey, Marks with 16 digs last night, continuing to be a monster vacuum in the back row, digging up everything. I love the way he sat back in that so the ball stayed on his own side of the net. A lot of players will stand up and they'll be leaning forward and bump the ball right back over and give the other team a free ball, but not JP. He's pretty good about getting his hips low and keeping the ball on his own side of the net. One of the few times tonight, by the way, I think that Siki did not take his smartest shot. Just hammering it into that 3-man block was not I don't think his best shot selection.
Even up at 11 now. And a free ball for Pepperdine as Hawaii had to just pop it over the net. Taylor going cross court. Cheap gets it up in the air. JP with the set, and that one is right at the top of the net. Taylor goes up and knocks it down. Well, Taylor and Antoneevich were both there, and that was a tough set as JP tried to go cross court.